Hi everyone, Joe Fernandez here, and I'll be going over how to get started with Enhancement Shamans. Enhancement Shamans are a great hybrid class that can deal immense burst pressure, as well as off heals and unique abilities to add to your team's survivability. I consulted with Jamie, a multi-rank 1 Enhancement Shaman, and a BlizzCon competitor who's currently in Tempo Storm. Enhancement Shamans only have one strong build in terms of Azerite Traits, and the traits barely affect your core build, so we will get right into the normal talents. Lightning Shield seems very powerful in this build and could be the main choice in this row. It gives a crazy amount of Maelstrom when in effect, dealing passive pressure as well as overloading at 20 stacks, giving some extra damage. It also damages enemies that choose to hit you. This is great for Enhancement Shamans as they are usually the target of choice by an enemy team. It would be my recommended choice overall in this tier. Boulder Fist, however, can offer a bit more consistency in arena games. It could be preferred in longer games and is usually Jamie's go-to choice. Landslide can be used when relying solely on burst kills, which could have potential depending on what comp you play or face. Forceful Winds can provide more Maelstrom and be great for single and multi-target situations. It also synergizes greatly with Lightning Shield and can give you more lava lashes in a game, making it your go-to choice. Spirit Wolf gives great mobility and damage reduction, ideal for kiting or reducing incoming pressure. This will be your go-to when you want to spam Ghost Wolf for kiting or to pre-reduce damage done to you. It also has good synergy with Spectral Recovery. Earth Shield can be good for passive matchups where you won't be using Ghost Wolf too much, such as against Affliction Warlocks. It also provides Purge Protection, which could come in handy in BfA. Overcharge gives a ranged burst on a short CD, which can deal devastating damage. It remains the only great choice here due to the impact of the other talents in this row being very lackluster. Nature's Guardian is one of the key defensives for an Enhancement Shaman's survivability. It's a fail-proof mechanic that can save you in stuns, which is what Shamans are usually susceptible to. Feral Lunge could potentially be used when you know that you don't need Nature's Guardian. This, however, could be very unlikely and very risky. Sundering is by far the best talent in this row, providing a crazy amount of burst as well as a 2-second in cap, giving it multi-purpose use. The reason it does so much damage is due to the mastery affecting it significantly. It does even more burst with Earthen Spike, which is a very short CD and gives you great burst on a low CD. Earthen Spike, once again, gives great burst on a short CD, as well as a damage buff to your nature and physical damage, ideal for burst situations as well as passive damage. Ascendance could be powerful with high burst damage, but due to it not working with the honor talents such as Ride the Lightning or Static Cling, it makes it a far weaker choice. As Enhancement Shaman, Relentless is usually the go-to, providing you can pre-wolf a lot and play smartly with position. The only time you'd want to play with the medallion is if you're an orc, where your racial provides you with relentless-like effects on all stuns. My advice is if you keep dying in burst opportunities during stuns, you may want a trinket in order to survive those goes. Shamanism is very powerful, providing yourself and a teammate with great burst on a 1-minute cooldown. It also synergizes incredibly well with the best Azerite trait available to Enhancement Shamans, Ancestral Resonance. Ride the Lightning deals significantly higher damage, in some cases being your highest DPS, being a major go-to honor talent when wanting to deal crazy damage. Another good honor talent which gives you great single target damage, adding to your burst mechanics or passive pressure of your current target. An Enhancer's dream was to have the use of Grounding Totem again. It provides good awareness to pull it off in great situations that can negate the enemy's offensive pressure. One great way to use Grounding is against certain spell pressure abilities such as Vampiric Touch, Ebon Bolt, Chaos Bolt, etc. The other way is against incoming CC on yourself or teammates, such as Polymorph, Fear, Cyclone, etc. If you're feeling confident, instant spells like Hammer of Justice could be grounded as well. Ethereal is a physical damage dealer's worst nightmare, essentially providing enhancements a low cooldown ice block against physical damage. This talent, paired with the normal talent Spirit Wolf, gives you high kiting potential or running potential in general. This makes it great against teams where you want to be kiting most of the game, which is a huge part of an Enhancement Shaman's survivability. Thundercharge could have potential uses in unique situations. An example of this could be playing with an Outlaw Rogue, doing offensive coordinator plays to try and slay someone rapidly. Forked Lightning is basically a discount version of Ride the Lightning. It does add burst, although it is unreliable in 3s to warrant the use of it too much. It could, however, be a very good go-to choice in 2s if you can't stack up for Ride the Lightning. When it comes to Azerite traits, Ancestral Resonance is the best T3 trait to stack. This means that playing with Shamanism is a must to use this trait. When at 10 stacks, you can use burst cooldowns to make full use of this trait. This trait gives you great mastery every time you use Heroism or Bloodlust, meaning insanely powerful synergy with Shamanism, providing you with this buff more often. This trait does stack, so you'd want this on all 3 pieces of Azerite gear if possible. If you don't have access to Ancestral Resonance, then Strength of Earth or Primal Primer could make a sufficient replacement for the time being. Other than these traits, the racial or passive PvP traits could be better than the other Enhancement Shaman traits. As for the middle trait, Earthlink and Blood Siphon are the best ones. However, all the other traits are of minimal effect compared to the Ancestral Resonance trait. The stat prioritization is as follows: Agility, Mastery, Versatility, Haste, Crit. Mastery increases all of your damaging abilities as well as higher proc chances with Wind Fury and Storm Strike. Mastery procs your Wind Fury far more often than your Haste does. Versatility offers more defensive properties, with damage reduction as well as giving increased damage, making it the second most valuable secondary stat. It also adds to your healing effects, which Enhance now has a lot of in BfA. Last and the very least, avoid critical chance as a stat as much as possible, due to any other stat being significantly better. If Ferals and Asterogues reign supreme, then Normal Dwarf would be the best Enhancement Shaman racial for Alliance. Dark Iron Dwarf can be good for offensiveness, but prefer the defensive aspects to help the Enhancement Shaman survive. If not Dwarf, then Draenei is the next best option, which always has a good on-use effect for the big hot. As for Horde, once again the Mighty Orc remains the best, allowing you to not need the Relentless trait as you have it built in against stuns. This allows you to play with Trinket or potentially Adaptation to abuse to your advantage. Overall, if no nerfs or buffs come, we'd think that Orc will remain the strongest racial for a Shaman, then followed up by the Normal Dwarf on Alliance. The damage priority for Enhancement is simple once you've mastered it. In short, it's important to keep up your buffs at all times, whilst maintaining a great priority of damaging abilities. That priority will look like this. Number 1, Flame Tongue buff. Number 2, Rockbiter to generate Maelstrom. Number 3, Frostbrand to slow. Number 4, Feral Spirit. Number 5, Earthen Spike. Number 6, Storm Strike when Stormbringer procs. Number 7, Storm Strike. Number 8, Lava Lash. And number 9, Lightning Bolt. Note that Lightning Bolt is a ranged ability, so sometimes you may use that over other spells simply because you cannot use the other spells. For multi-targeting in Arena, it's exactly the same as Legion, using Crash Lightning to keep the buff up and slaying your enemies, AoEing with your Storm Strike and Lava Lash. It's important to hit 2+ targets with your Crash Lightning, as each target you hit buffs your next Storm Strike or Lava Lash. These abilities will also have splash damage, making it very powerful in close quarters situations. For burst damage, it's important to have certain cooldowns to maximize your burst potential. These cooldowns are Earthen Spike, Heroism or Bloodlust, and Sundering. It's important to have your buffs up beforehand, as you don't want to waste GCDs on buffing during your burst. This means having your Flame Tongue buff, Frostband buff, and also things like Ancestral Resonance or Static Cling will be factors when you have access to them. Once that's out the way, you want to prioritize your Storm Strikes, then Sundering, then Lava Lash, then Rockbiter. If, for some reason, you get kited during your burst, of course this is not ideal, but you could make use of Lightning Bolt when target is out of range. Having an on-use trinket with 1 or 2 minute cooldown provides great synergy with Shamanism, allowing your burst potential goes to be more devastating. Double on-use trinkets are back, now that they only have an internal cooldown of 30 seconds. This means it could potentially be the new go-to for Enhance, as you can use a different on-use trinket with Bloodlust or Heroism. It's important though that these trinkets have a maximum of a 2-minute cooldown, otherwise it wouldn't work properly. Other than that, a proc or stat mastery trinket could be great for more added burst situations. So to recap, enhancements can deal good passive pressure as well as helping teammates survive with their utility and off healing. They have great self mobility with the power of Ghost Wolf and Spectral Recovery. Enhance can deal insane bursts with their Azerite Trait, Ancestral Resonance, combined with Shamanism. When timed it well, can lead to devastating blows resulting in most of your win conditions. Alright, that's it for this guide on getting started with Enhancement Shaman. Hope you enjoyed it and plus skill if it helped. Thanks for watching and I'll see you later.